Yeah, like what's up on the website? It says like I guess yeah. It says it says both of the things.
Wait, so are we in two different parallel universes at the same time right now?
And we're just communicating.
Are we in that Spider-Man movie? That's amazing.
Yeah, so just prepare to.
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That must be Jeremiah. Put some shoes on.
That train is off the track.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler.
Just prepare to. Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You were listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is November 5th, 2023, and this is episode 666. Coming to you from the depths of Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to discuss an exciting 1-3 week of Pacers basketball with games against Chicago, Boston, Cleveland, and Charlotte. Joining me this week are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatable? Shout out to the darkness. Daylight losing time. Got dark super early today. Wow. And also, Satan. Shout out.
Also, when people shout out to the darkness, I just want to make sure that's going in a good direction, you know?
They're a good band. I like them.
Okay.
Is this our first Satan shout out since we've started the show?
There's no way.
Doesn't seem right, but it's possible.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender mixing up the drinks in the crappy jingles. It's John Baby Teeth Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to the mountains. Just a beautiful fall day here. 68 and sunny with a light breeze all day. And then, yeah, got dark too early. So, shut up, Daylight Savings Time? Anti-shout out to Daylight Savings Time? What are we saving here?
Well, we're not saving anything anymore.
We're destroying my joy? Is that what we're doing? 666, baby.
From Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? You guys are all very depressed today. I'm sure talking about this week of Pacers basketball is going to make it all better for you. Yeah. Shout out some elections this week.
Yeah.
Shout out some democracy.
Yeah, go and do that voting thing. Here's the rage with all the kids these days.
God, I hope so.
Before we get into the show, I'd like to remind listeners they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by voting with your money. You can head over to patreon.com/undebeatables and support us for as little as $1 per month. All right, team. We had a 1-3 week of Pacers basketball. That's true. But I thought it was super exciting, and I think there's a lot to talk about here. First game was October 30th against the Chicago Bulls. Pacers lose this one 112-105. Vucevic closed out the game. pretty nicely for the Bulls. I don't know. There were some good performances. I think Miles Turner was great this game, 20 and 11. Tyrese Halliburton had 19 points, 13 assists, double for both of those guys. But Vucevic, 24 and 17 rebounds. For some reason, it hurts more for me when somebody gets like a ton of rebounds against us. Like when you get like more than 13, 14 rebounds, I feel like that hurts more than somebody dropping 40 on your head, you know? That's just me.
You must be in a lot of pain, Joey.
I mean, yeah.
Over the years.
Yeah. Then, the game that I kind of want to just breeze by. November 1st, Pacers take on the Boston Celtics in Boston and lose this one. This is not a typo. This is not an error on my part. 155 to 104. Drubbing. Lots of big numbers on the Celtics side, less big numbers on the Pacers side. We can talk about this one more if you'd like to later. Then the third game of the week, November 3rd, and shout out, Jason, to your parents who gave me tickets to this game. Their tickets to this game. And so I got to go, took my mom, and we got to see the in-season tournament game in the field house. And Pacers win this one 121 to 116. It was a very fun game. So very quickly, Donovan Mitchell was just torching us. He had 38 points. He was struggling to miss, and he looked phenomenal. But Miles Turner was nearly as on fire, at least in the first half, and finished out strong. And Bruce Brown was bringing it when it counted, and Halliburton really picked it up towards the end of the game. And Buddy Hield was super fun to watch. So Nesmith and Jalen Smith was showing well as well. It was a good team win by the Pacers, and they closed it. They actually had led most of the game and gave it away, really never getting down by more than a couple, and then closing it at the end. And so it was a really fun fourth quarter. Being in the house, the crowd was super fun. The court was crazy, but the atmosphere was great, and it felt like a playoff game. We've seen these guys 3 times in the last couple weeks, and it was an intense game. So that was awesome, and so they win the first in-season game. And then last night, Pacers play at home against the Charlotte Hornets and lose this one at the buzzer, as they say, 125-124. From the Pacers side, Tyrese Halliburton dropped 43, 12 assists. He was nearly unlimited range, shooting from everywhere, and it was all going down, but also was handling the ball. We'll talk about this more, but at the end of the game, it got away from him. So couldn't close it out. We had chances to win, did not do so. Mark Williams and Gordon Hayward were big scoring, and Rozier as well. 27, 23, and 22 points out of their starters. Anyway, we won. I'd say the game that counted the most, in the in-season tournament. So that's the one. 2 other winnable games that we did not win, and the Boston game was also this week as well. Harper, what was your takeaway from this week?
It's a real up and down week. Consistency has not been the calling card of our team this week. After our excellent start, good Tyrese only missed 1 game for us because apparently playing without him is not great for us right now. He obviously is a linchpin of that defense, since without him we give up 150 a game.
155.
It kind of felt like we caught the Bulls maybe at the wrong time. They'd had a big team meeting the night before after Levine posted his 50 and they lost. So I think that they were determined to get a game, which they did. More than anything, I was really disappointed that Charlotte lost. I hate losing to Charlotte.
God.
It's not very good.
They kept showing stats during the game of like how historically we nearly always win, and we didn't.
Yeah, we caught a
I feel
hot
like
team.
lately we always drop a stupid game to Charlotte, like the past 5 years or something. That one was particularly disappointing because the team struggled in the first half, couldn't really find their mark, and then towards the end of the half, I forget who it was. Was it PJ Washington? Hit Tyrese Halliburton in the face as he was going up for a layup on accident. Hard. Bloody nose. And then Tyrese proceeded to make a three-pointer to close the half, cut it to within 8, and then opened up the third quarter just on fire. Hit 4 threes in the first 4 minutes. The crowd was really into it. The Pacers started playing their tempo again, fast pace, getting everybody involved. People were hitting threes like crazy. And then credit to the Hornets for hanging in there, and to Steve Clifford, the Big Red coach, who I thought did an excellent job of managing that game. We always talk about Carlisle being a great game manager, and I thought that Clifford did just as good a job in this game, giving his guys a chance to win. And, it comes down to defense for this team. The Pacers just could not get stops against a not-so-great Hornets team. And to make matters worse, Terry Rozier goes down with a strained groin in the, halfway through the fourth quarter, who he had been killing us. You would have thought that would have slowed the Hornets down, but instead they just kept ripping us apart. I think they scored, I have no idea. At one point they had 70 points in the paint, and that was in the third quarter or something like that. They were just getting to the rim at will. That being said, we still had a chance to win the game. Buddy Hield misses a free throw that would have tied it. And Tyrese made two, for as brilliant as he made two horrible plays down the stretch. One was an inbounds pass that we had with, 10 seconds left or something like that. Quick reset. He tries to pass it into Miles Turner, but for some reason, throws it at his feet. And then the Pacers lose the ball in the ensuing scramble. And then down one, ready to take the last shot. Halliburton being guarded by LaMelo Ball, not exactly the stalwart defender that his brother is, at least. Can't get around him, and in fact, LaMelo pokes the ball away and ices the game just by getting a steal. So, silver lining, it was a totally winnable game. Dark gray lining, this is a game that we're going to be looking at in March or April and being like, shit.
Yeah. I mean, we
This could
posted
have gotten us the 6th seed.
50 in the third quarter, got a career quarter out of Tyrese Halliburton, and couldn't close the door on a 1-3 team. It's not perfect.
Yeah, no, this is a devastating week. I feel like we're all being a little too, not that I'm saying everybody's cheery, but this is a disaster. The Bulls are bad. Charlotte is bad. We played against a good Boston team, and they doubled our score practically. The only thing that's keeping this from being the Titanic is that we beat Cleveland in the play-in tournament, which makes us all feel better. At least makes me feel better. But I watched that game
in season.
What did I say?
Tournament. It's the play-in tournament.
Play-in tournament. Oh yeah. Fair enough.
I wish they would just. I wish they would just replace this because everyone's calling it. I don't like the name. I think they should just call it the NBA Cup and just
NBA Cup. There you go. We're playing for the NBA Cup, and we were up like 18 points and lost all of it in like a 10-minute stretch. And this was a real struggle to score down the stretch in this tournament game against Cleveland. Mitchell is terrifying and can score at will, and I really feel like we struggled to stop him. Now, everybody in the league has struggled to stop him, but we struggled also to manufacture some offense in the second half. I'm having trouble looking at what's going well with this team right now. If we hadn't had an 18-point cushion in that NBA Cup, we lose this game going away. So I don't know. I explain to me what's going right.
Well, so I mean that's one way to look at it. And another way to look at it is that it's the beginning of the season. Like we're still figuring out who we are as a team. And if you look at that Cavs game in particular, I thought that game showed a lot of character on the part of these guys. Like the fact, like in the NBA, 18-point leads aren't what 18-point leads used to be, right? Like people blow 20-point leads all the time now, right? And Cleveland is one of the best defensive teams in the league. They finally got all their dudes back.
They look great. They look really, really good.
And they turned it on in the second half, and that's how they closed that gap, right? In fact, they even got up by 4 at one point.
Yeah.
But instead of folding, I thought the Pacers did a great job of actually clamping down on defense themselves for a few key possessions and making some tough shots. Like, Halliburton, again, comes to our rescue and is, making icing three-pointers and creating plays for guys and all that stuff. I thought that game, not just because it was an in-season tournament game, but like if that was just a regular season game, Cleveland's a really good team.
They're a really good team.
3 in the East, maybe.
I agree with that.
And, they don't have, Garland is just coming back. Jared Allen is just coming back. But regardless, like, they got a lot of dudes. And by all measures, this could easily have been an 0-4 week. But it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I loved that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I was on the edge of my seat, and I thought that we were able to manufacture enough shots and manufacture enough stops. And like I said, I felt like we were playing against a guy who could never miss, and Mitchell. They're a great team. After watching that game, I think they could be the 2 seed in the East. They look that good to me, defensively and offensively. So yeah, that was heartening. And again, I liked the spice of it being an NBA Cup game, but. It is still part of the narrative in my mind, which is, we showed some guts to eke that one out. But the other good team we played, we lost by the second most points we've ever lost to a team in franchise history against the Boston Celtics. And then the Bulls are bad. They're just bad. And we let them dictate the pace. The entire game, we didn't push the ball. We played at their slow pace, and then they had guys that can hit shots down the stretch. And then the Hornets, we let this, completely transcendent game from Halliburton just slip away.
Well, maybe this is... Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, look, it's the beginning of the season, and our measuring stick games this week were if you're going to pick a team to really measure yourself against and where you're at, you would have picked in a vacuum. You would have picked the Bulls and the Hornets because they are most closely situated in predictive, win-loss totals at the end of the season, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we played close games with them. We could have won both. Like I said, I think we caught them at the wrong time. The Bulls had just won a tough one early, so they rallied around that. Charlotte. Whatever. They were just shooting the lights out. Sometimes that happens. But we won the game that mattered, right? We clearly had one circled for a team that's predicted to win 50 games this year and came out and played a really hard 48 minutes of basketball.
We did. That's right.
And if that's what we're going to show come playoff time, that's going to be the most important thing for us, right? We've got a lot of stuff that we've got to put together, and we got plenty of runway left this season to get where we need to go. But if we can make sure that we've got that other gear ready when we need it, then that's going to be the most important thing in the long term.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if when you look at the you talk about these preseason projections, like if we want to be a team that's going to make the playoffs, we have to beat the Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets of the league, right? And
I mean, I totally agree with you, and I totally feel like in March we're going to be looking back at these games and being very mad. That being said, like the first 10 games of an NBA season every year are just like chaos, like teams are figuring out who's doing what. That Charlotte game was our first back-to-back of the season. It was 4 games in 6 nights, which is not overly bad, but it's the first time you're doing it in a season. The season coming off a really emotional win. The guys struggled to have emotional energy. I felt in the first half, and they were able to rally out of that and really for a stretch there looked like the team that was head and shoulders above the Hornets, and they just weren't able to maintain that, because of effort-wise, or as I mentioned, you got to give the Hornets credit. They got professional dudes on their team too. Hayward ate our lunch, basically. He could take anybody he wanted in the post.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a longer conversation for Thursday's show, but there are, major things that we need to work on that became apparent this week. And I think the first is half-court offense, because if we are not able to dictate our pace, we need to figure out, especially with that first unit, what are our bread and butter plays? What are we going to get good looks from? And it can't just be Halliburton creating on his own out top. He can do that a lot, but we need something else to go to. And the second is defense, right? That Charlotte game, we played offensively horrible in the first half, and we still put up 125 or whatever we put up. But you just can't let a Charlotte team score 125 on you. They looked discombobulated at times in the first half, and life just was very easy for them to get to the basket and get layups. And those two things need to be fixed big time, especially if this team wants to do anything in the playoffs, because that's playoff basketball.
Yeah.
Is half-court offense and defense.
But as it sits, we're 6 games into the season. We're a 500 team. We're ahead of Cleveland in the standings. We've won our first in-season. We've won our first NBA Cup game.
Right.
Thank you.
We need to be a 500 team. We know that we need to be that. Right now we are, in spite of a lot of failings early, and a missed game from Tyrese Halliburton. So we've gotten great contributions from a lot of guys. We're sifting through what our order is and who's going to be playing and at what point during games. So we're starting to see the outlines of a team here. But yeah, for sure, we got a long way to go.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting conversation too. It seems like Heald and Neesmith are going to be our closers instead of Toppin and Matherin, at least as of this week. Joey, you got to be in the most exciting game of the week, which was the NBA Cup game. What was Toppin and Matherin's body language on the bench? Were they doing all right with the not closing?
I mean, everybody, I didn't watch those two specifically, but
I gave you one job.
The bench in general, people just seemed the players and the fans, everyone seemed hyped for that. It was a great game regardless of the competition, but the bench was happy. It was. I mean, like you guys have said, it's early in the season. We do not have everything figured out. It is chaos. There's bad turnovers. One thing that the team is doing is finding Obi Toppin for alley-oops. So that's awesome. Those are fun. They've not been missing on those. But I do want to reiterate the crowd was I'd say super close to a sellout. It might have been on paper, but the atmosphere was the electricity was on fire. As we said.
How did the court look in real life? For the listeners, there's a NBA Cup court for every game for every team in the league, and it's very bright colors. Ours were blue and yellow with a big NBA Cup in the middle, right? And it said Indy real big. It's very dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, like the specific like logo and branding. I don't know, like and they all, and of course everybody has their own uniforms as well, and those whatever. Like I
didn't speak.
I
to
like
you?
the idea. Nah, but like, I mean, just the idea in general, I liked. I think that the court looked better in person than the TV. Like the TV in the arena, like the blue was like louder and it was more obnoxious, like on the screen than it was in person. I thought it looked nice.
Okay.
It's just a weirder like design though, just because it's like the two outside thirds or so of the court are a dark color, and then the lane, like the center strip is it's just like a different visual, not geometry, but like just the shape's just a little bit different, so
I found it wildly distracting to watch.
There's a lot.
It took me forever to like. And the Pacers court, it should be noted, is particularly fluorescent compared to other courts. So we'll see how it looks. We play Philly in a couple weeks or whatever.
Well, what was it? Was it the Portland that was like red and deep red? Like I was, like it was. Maybe that was of the Bulls. Like there's just like, I don't know. They were all very prominent.
They went for it, and like, kudos to the NBA. They're going to commit to the bit, and maybe by the end of it, we're like, oh, this was pretty cool. But like, yeah, I think the initial shock is a little overwhelming. But
well, and also on top of that, real concerns about the black paint on the Pacers floor. Lots of slipping. Halliburton pulls his groin. People just falling all over every time they hit the black paint on the.
Was that happening in other games? I was curious about that.
I don't know.
Like
if it was just in our place, somebody's in trouble the next day. Actually, probably even if it was every place, somebody's in trouble.
Oh, especially if it was every place.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was before the Denver game. They had to repaint the 3-point line because it was just too far away. Just like screwed up the measurement.
They just made it up.
They're taking practice like, man, I'm short on
I used to be
everything.
good at these.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
is that why Halliburton was just shooting from wherever?
He's like, it's not going to matter. I don't know where I am out here.
What did you guys think of the jerseys, the new city jerseys, the black with the...
I like those pretty well, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of like 90s graffiti-esque, kind of. They're all right. I kind of like it.
They're all right. I'm fine with them.
Yeah.
So you didn't go out and buy one though, Joe?
I did. No. I'll say I think they're all right, but we have so many. There's so many jerseys now.
Yeah.
Sure, but nothing like that at all. We had the big, dramatic yellow Indy across the deep blue, black.
That's true, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
It didn't tickle your '90s nostalgia.
No, we'll see how this tournament run goes. But
If,
I don't know.
if we win the NBA Cup, you're buying lots of them.
Of course.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah. For everybody.
All right. Well, the Pacers have a chance to rebound next week. Another 4 games.
Oh, we're not going to rebound.
Good call. No NBA Cup games this week, but
Boo.
Monday, November 6th, 3 of 4 games at home. Pacers hosting the San Antonio Spurs and one Victor Wembanyama, which is must-see TV. That's a 7 o'clock tip on Monday. Wednesday, hosting the Utah Jazz, another 7 o'clock tip. Thursday, hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. That is a 7 o'clock tip, and that is on NBA TV. And then Sunday, November 12th, at Philadelphia, 6 o'clock tip. What you got, boys?
Return to mediocrity, 2-2.
2-2. All right.
I think that the team is going to respond to Colson's harsh criticism and sweep it out.
Sweep it
In
out.
a good way. Yeah. Just to
I
shut
think-
you up.
I think they're going to send Colson into an even further depression, and they're going to go 1-3.
1-3, yep.
Yeah, no, I'm.
And I don't know which one we're going to get either.
No, I think that we're going to be angry. We're going to respond in one game this week, but I'm going to agree with you on a 1-3.
Wow. Set the ceiling low. All right. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, I think this is the time of year we're trying to figure out who we are, and I feel like we need some consistency. I would love to have a little bit of that, so we know what we're getting into.
Look, if you want to live and die by the 3, you're gonna die more often.
Or you can just keep hitting them.
Yeah.
But they decided not to in Boston.
Yep.
Maybe that 3-point line was faulty.
You should definitely have that.
Didn't stop Boston though. I don't know how they do that, but
Nobody does that, so I don't feel bad about not stopping them, but I do feel bad about giving them 155 points.
blech.
We still lead the league in assists per game at 30.8.
Oh, we share the ball brilliantly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, actually on defense, I do want to give one quick special shout out to Miles Turner's block at the end of the end of that Cleveland game.
Oh God, brilliant. Yeah.
Shades of Roy Hibbert.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Was it Mobley that was going?
Yeah.
hard?
Oh yeah. Mobley was going straight to the rack.
Yeah, Mobley was going hard, and the plates erupted. Just blocking a one-on-one dunk is always sweet, but also super late into the into a tournament game.
Oh, there was like 10 seconds left. I mean, it would have been a huge 2 points. It was amazing. Also, I was listening to the TV and they were talking about that Miles Turner takes the Mobley challenge very personally because I don't know, he's younger or people compare them or something. Like in his head, he wants to show Mobley up, and that was one of the reasons he had such a good game. Maybe I wish he'd feel like that in all games. Maybe against Valanciunas, that'd be great too. Instead of getting just rocked by that old dude.
Sure.
Vucevic.
Vucevic, yeah, not Valanciunas, just one of those big white dudes.
Victor Wembanyama. I guess he's not one.
No, he's an alien.
Yeah.
He has no.
He had a good week. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. All right, team. Well, we're getting out of here. We'll be back with you on Thursday, and we will be discussing some things a little more in depth. And until then, you can hit us up on social media. We're on Twitter at Undebeatables. We're on Facebook.com/TheUndebeatables. Our website is TheUndebeatables.com. There's also a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. Also, email. Shout out at TheUndebeatables.com and the website /store where I'm assuming we have our city editions out. I'm assuming they're there.
90s version.
Just medium only, though.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Slick Leonard. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
You mentioned
comment.
Jared Allen. I saw he kicked Draymond in the crotch this week.
Nice.
The title of that post on Reddit was like Draymond, so he received the Draymond special.
It's amazing it doesn't happen more often.
I know.
He sort of opened himself
The
up
top-
to that.
The top comment was something like that. It's like that grimace on his face was that was likely pride in young guys playing the right way.